Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Zero Dark 30, blasting out of the bunker into the night. And boy, folks, what a world we're living in, huh? Well, here we are. Let's deal with it. You know, you've got to face the facts. We've got to deal with the reality that's in front of us, not the one we want, not the pretend reality. Like, I'm a hamster. No, I'm a fire hydrant. No, none of that stuff. We have to deal with real reality. Funny how they put the word real in reality. Anyways, speaking of reality, the president now can send U.S. troops wherever he wants. He can send National Guard wherever he needs, according to this thing called, well, statutory law. Yeah, that's right. He is the president after all. Yeah, the commander-in-chief. Yeah. So that judge, that ridiculous, retarded, partisan, insurrectionist judge in Oregon has been told, no dice, bitch. You've got no authority. And this just needs to stop. I can't say this enough. The judges need to be stopped. They are not gods. They are not the arbiters of truth. They aren't the parsers of phraseology. They certainly aren't legislators. And the last thing in the world you want is a fucking judge making decisions about something other than what the meaning of the word is. They're awful. They're fucking stupid people, folks. And I've got to tell you, there's a lot of lawyers I've met that are just fucking retarded. Being a lawyer doesn't make you smart, folks. Being a judge doesn't make you smart. Being smart is what makes you smart. So, back to the point. Powerlessness. These Democrats feel powerless. They don't have the presidency. They're powerless. They don't have the House of Representatives. They're powerless. I mean, when your man is dollar store Obama, when your lead man in Congress is discount Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, you're powerless. When your man in the Senate doesn't know that you do not put cheese on an uncooked hamburger, you're powerless. That's right. Up Chuck Schumer, who has really earned that name because he made me want to chuck when I saw him standing next to a barbecue, which is a fucking joke. Literally joke, but with cheese on uncooked hamburgers on the grill. He's a fool. He's powerless. Do you think a guy who doesn't know how to cook a fucking hamburger should be running the country, should be determining who does and doesn't get the Second Amendment, the First Amendment? Who is or isn't the executive in charge of the military? Who is or isn't and shouldn't be in charge of budgets? They're powerless. Thank God they've had power here and there for far too long. Well, even Jon Stewart was crying and sniveling and whining and bitching and moaning and complaining and lamenting that, well, since Kamala lost, the people that voted, they feel powerless. They got no power. And now Trump is in office and he's Hitler. He's a fascist. He's a Nazi. And they feel powerless. I still have not seen Trump's people going around and arresting Americans. The only thing I've seen him doing or seen the troops doing is arresting criminals. That's who we want arrested. Now, what's fascinating here is Democrats want to interfere with the arrest of criminals, with the arrest of illegal aliens, who are by their very nature and term criminals. They're drug dealers, they're rapists, they're murderers, they're kidnappers, they're everything bad that you can imagine. And they need to get out. But Democrats stand up for that. That's their power. Supporting, protecting, hiding the worst criminals in the country. Well, it's because they think alike. This is what's fascinating is these criminals called Democrats and also Rhino Republicans, they're used to having power and wielding power and using power against others and being sneaky. Oh, yes. Being shyster, lawyer, sneaky. And using legislation to shove shit in our face and steal our money and control us and lie to us and make us think that they have authority over us when they don't. But Democrats, folks, because that's how they operate, they believe that, well, if they don't have people in senior positions, that they're powerless. We get to this very important part of this. When people feel powerless, they feel afraid, they feel weak, they feel vulnerable, they feel like something bad is going to happen. Now, especially because when they are in power, they do bad things and they hurt others and they attack others. So they think the same is coming for them. They feel powerless. So then they're left with two emotional responses. And I don't expect them to have an intellectual response because they're not intellectuals. Fucking vagrants. So these Democrats feel powerless. So they're left with the emotional response of fight or flight. Fight or flight. It's the human response to imminent danger. Well, the ones that flight or fly away or hide, you don't hear from them, you don't see them. You know, they hide wherever and however they need to and can to get away from the bad things, the pressure, the powerful, which they aren't. The other one is fight. And it is becoming more and more obvious that that's what the Democrats want to do. That fat tub of gelatinized crap known as Jabba Prickster, told President Trump in one of his famous fat guy quotes, you'll have to go through me. And I was thinking, we don't got that kind of time, dude. You're too fucking fat and thick to go through. We can just walk around you. And if you try stopping us, you'll probably be winded just from the effort of turning your fat body. No respect, folks. I have no respect for these people. They don't deserve it. They haven't earned it. It doesn't do any good when you respect them anyways. Then they just think of you as weak for not attacking them, which is what they would do to us. Oh, man, I tell you, the psychology is just dripping off of everything in this SHTF scenario that is playing out right in front of us, in front of our lives. So, yeah, fight. They're left with fight. They protest. It's a very mild form of action. But their protests turn violent often. Now, I'm going to tie in one last thing. Their acts of terrorism, murder, sabotage, ambush, bottles, rocks, bricks, explosives, guns, lasers. They do everything they can violently, right? Burn, loot, murder. What's going on with these people? Why are all Democrats all of a sudden so willing to be violent? I think another key ingredient here is the Jim Jones juice. The VAXXX that has been pumped into them, the spike proteins are literally chewing away at their brain. Very similar, if not the same, as mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. Slowly, in some cases, faster in others, they're losing their minds. And as your mind is chewed up, as your IQ drops, you become more prone to violence than you do to intellectual pursuit and thought. In other words, these people are going to become more and more violent as time progresses because that is their nature. once their IQ, once their intelligence is being destroyed. When you don't have a good argument, nope. When you don't have a leg to stand on, you can either run away, flight, or you can fight. And they choose to fight, folks. They're going to get more violent. So please get prepared, because chance favors the prepared mind.